Cheers, guys. Epix 911, welcome to the Elitist Geek VR news for the real Sunday, September 4th. Realized I said it was Sunday yesterday. My only excuse and only defense is vacation brain. That's it. That's all I can pin it on. It's the real deal today. It is Sunday. Quick bit of preamble. In terms of the games that I have going on, anyone who's watched the last few videos knows the objective of my staycation is the list, the quote-unquote trademarked list that I've been making my way through. But for pure unwinding, just kind of chillaxing experiences, for me, it's been all about two games, essentially. Damaged Core and Raw Data. Damaged Core, of course, on the Rift, and Raw Data, of course, on the Vive. Raw Data without, ticking me off too much, but it's still just proving to be a bugger. I've switched classes now to the energy katana-wielding robot ninja guy, and it's definitely made it a bit more straightforward, but I still haven't unlocked the last of the new levels, and it's driving me absolutely bonkers. And of course, the more pissed off I get, the worse I play. So it's, this beautiful little cycle of self-defeat, the architect of my own demise, right? But still fun as hell. And Damaged Core, same thing. Really enjoying both of those games. Onward, I would be playing the hell out of, I'm sure, but I've had very little precious time to do the troubleshooting that I need to do to get the damn microphone to work. Apparently there's issues with the Vive headset. Nobody ever hears me. I've tried it through the Yeti. As you guys know, for some reason, I seem to be cursed in the audio front, right? Even as an IT guy, audio vexes me always. Took me long enough to just get audio sorted out on this channel. Now I'm having freaking audio issues in game. Go figure. Thanks, Murphy. It's what he does. Well, let's get into some news here. So first little bit coming out of a recent fan expo in Toronto, and of course PAX West Seattle. We're even going to talk about some news coming out of the German trade show. Well, let's get started. Let's talk about PAX West and a story out of there. So one of the titles that's going to be launched for the PlayStation VR, but it's also going to be an Oculus Rift launch title, is a game called Loading Human. Now, this is one of the first PlayStation VR titles that they announced a long time ago. It wasn't one that really impressed me at the time. I'm not so sure it even busts into my top 8 or top 10, but I know more enough about it now at least to say, hey, I'm probably going to try this. But essentially it's an adventure game, and you have a dying father who basically sends you on the equivalent mission of finding the Fountain of Youth, right? But instead of being in a jungle in the Amazon, it is in deep space somewhere. And before you even get started on the mission, you begin to have experiences whereby you question the mission, your father, yourself, and pretty much everything around you. So it looks pretty cool. I will include the link for the trailer. How good is it going to be? I don't know, but I'm at least curious enough to find out now, whereas before I kind of wasn't. The other info coming out of PAX West concerns the Batman VR. Now, I talked about that a few times on this channel and had a few of you comment back to me that it was going to be a short experience. So whereas the Bethesda and id Software experience are more full games, Batman VR from the get-go was only ever intended to be a short kind of single episodic adventure. And that's been proven. So, I mean, you guys, not that I didn't believe you, of course I did, but we're now hearing from people who've actually tried it in PAX West that that is in fact the case, which is a shame because they say it was easily one of the most immersive virtual reality experiences at PAX West that they tried. So hopefully at least it's a stepping stone to more and better, because if I could think of an awesome game, it would be something like Batman VR, because what they describe, they enjoy, but have it be like a full-length Arkham-style game. That would be awesome. Same with an Assassin's Creed full-on game like that, I think would be great. And Ubisoft's starting to do some dipping into VR as well. So lots of things to look forward to. And this is the critical time for that to start happening between now and November. I want to start being impressed. Start showing me stuff, guys. I don't need teasers from stuff that's still on the drawing boards 3 years away, but show me some of this stuff that you are wanting to launch in the holiday season. We need to get some of that out there. So hopefully it's going to become more visible and the devs and companies involved will actually start splashing the stuff about. Now, the next little piece of news is also concerning a game. And this one was out of Toronto, I believe. Actually, no, this was a VentureBeat.com news article. And it was about a game called, or rather an experience called the Impossible Travel Agency. And what it does is it combines a VR experience with music for a resulting, as they call it, gorgeous tale. Now, they've got this on display at a convention, and the author trying it said the default experience is basically, it was a 6-minute song. And think of this as kind of like a music visualizer, something like a milk drop, but slightly more interactive than that. And it has enough variation and coding. It's done in such a way that it's almost like it's telling you a story without words, a story in pictures that follows the music, right? With a start, beginning, and an end. And as the last few seconds of the song run out, the experience in perfect unison ends. Now, what's cool about that is they say you can swap out any song and the experience dynamically adjusts itself to the full length of that song. In fact, Russell, one of the core team members, pointed out that you could play Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety, and as the last few seconds of the last song, Eclipse, are playing out, your experience is finalizing. So that got me really interested because they don't mention how they're doing it in the article, but I can only imagine it being some sort of procedural generation, random, with some type of structure, some kind of ability to recognize stages of a song, right? I don't think it's that advanced, the algorithm. It can probably, what it does is it just looks at the timestamp, would be my guess. It does all the other visualizer stuff. If there's lots of treble, bass, it adjusts itself accordingly to that. But overall, to end when the song does, I'm pretty sure it just uses the timestamp and then modifies its procedural generation to accommodate that. Either way, sounds freaking cool. Sometimes it's nice to just chillax with music, right? And I love visualizers. Like Milk Drop is probably one of my favorite. Hell, I was using programs like that back in the Commodore 64 days. There was one demo that made the rounds with me and my friends called Sound and Graphics is what it was called. And it was a demo out of Europe. It played, I think it was 11 different tunes, Enola Gay, just a bunch of cool songs from the time. And again, done just awesome, using line graphics of different colors, different patterns would be drawn on the screen. It was a cool little program. This is the evolution of all that, plus VR thrown in. So really makes you feel in the music. Next news piece has to do with massage chairs. Now, this was at the German trade show that I talked about at the beginning of this. It's the IFA trade show, which is in Germany this year. And there's these massage chairs that are lined up. And we've all probably seen these, right? You've seen these in airports. You've probably seen these, in hotels on occasion, in the lobbies. You sit in them, you put in money. The chair basically gives you a massage. It's got, rotors for your lower back, middle, upper back, and neck. Is typically. Some even do your feet, your ankles, right, calves, and your arms. These take that one step further into virtual reality, put you on a beach in the French Mediterranean, probably near Marseille or somewhere, and you pick a gender of your choice for the masseuse, and then you get a massage. So you're getting a virtual massage on a French beach. The author pointed out, rightfully so, that he was a little self-conscious at first, and I can imagine people would be. You're at a bloody trade show with tens of thousands of people, enjoying something that tends to be pleasurable, but not wanting to reveal the fact that it's pleasurable because you feel self-conscious. But what a great idea. Such a simple little thing, but cool. It's a massage in a different location. Kind of one of those Captain Obvious things you would think would be an obvious fit, but don't always think about it. I'm glad these guys did. Now, it's definitely not the kind of thing I'm going to have in my home, but if I see it at an airport, hell yeah, I'd probably try it. Next news piece deals with all these patents that we've seen coming out of the Apple camp. And there was a patent that I mentioned last week. Well, more word is coming out about that. And I said if I received any updates, I would update you guys on that. What we are hearing now is speculation that that patent, which was filed last week, is going to actually coincide with the launch of the iPhone 8. So the speculation is that the iPhone 8 will be Apple's first true foray into virtual reality. So I thought the device it looked pretty good. It was almost like a pair of glasses as opposed to the massive HMDs, which we've gotten used to. And that kind of brings us to the next article in terms of facepalm moments. Little schlock, there we go. So let's get into this one. So the author, this is a TechCrunch article. As usual, the link will be below. The author's name is Brian Heater. And Brian, if you're watching this, I'm just having fun with you, buddy. Just having fun with you. But the headline of his article reads, "And this is why VR headsets are headsets and not sunglasses." Okay, I was intrigued. They show two pictures of guys holding these sunglasses style VR devices up to their head. And it was that company I reported on from China, Lodlo, where the L was silent and it ended up sounding like dodo. That news story, that's what these ones were. What I find hilarious about this, when you read the article and see the pictures, and honestly, two people should probably be fired as a result of this. Brian, for not picking up on it and then writing a story about it, and then the company themselves that would go to a trade show with a pair of glasses that people constantly have to adjust and push up, nerd style to their face, without realizing that a $3, guys, strap that you can adjust to the back of your head will keep them on. That just blew me away. And sorry, I had a big chuckle at your expense, Brian. But yeah, that kind of just destroys the whole article, because a $3 part would address your big coup de grace, which was the fact that they kept falling off. So anyways, just having fun with you. I thought it was comical. It must have been a slow news day for you. All good. I get it. Last thing I want to talk about, guys, has to do with a cinematic VR challenge that was recently held at musician Perry M's home, and I believe he's near Mount Rainier in Washington State. And it's the 2016 Cinematic VR Challenge. And what this group at his house were doing, with the assistance of just a single HTC Vive, you've got so many people there, they should have probably had more units. But anyways, they had the one Vive, and what they were together to do was work on 360-degree content that defies the traditional linear aspect of movies, right? The start, middle, end, with the viewer being exactly that, a passive viewer, instead of somebody who's a participant. So what their focus was brainstorming ideas, movie ideas, video ideas for exactly that. How to make the switch from somebody being a passive viewer to an active participant. And they had 4 demos doing exactly that. And they were also, like I said, not linear. You could sort of choose your path, like those old choose your own adventure books that, guys my age grew up with. I think they still have those. But anyways, that idea. So, a little challenge out of that came out of that. There's a link. I don't recall if they had links to the actual experiences, but I seem to remember reading that a few of them were free. So feel free to check them out. It will be in the links below. That's basically it for the news, guys. The 4-month report video, I had it ready yesterday, but then I realized speaking of audio, like how fitting is this, right? I realized I had the audio on my mic muted the entire time and didn't have time to recut the video. So see, there you go, Brian, my own facepalm moment. All right, guys, as always, cheers. Definitely catch you on the flip side.